Hello, my name is Amy White. For this week's discussion through a scholarly survey, I utilized the Jerry Falwell Library Database System that took me to the American History and Life with full text database, and I searched into the Rwandan Genocide using keyword searching genocide Rwanda and Clinton. For my first article, Burkhalter's The Question of Genocide, the Clinton Administration in Rwanda, published in 1994, just after the genocide, Burkhalter rightly defines the genocide as the greatest human rights disaster of all time. That the then American President, Bill Clinton, and his administration responded by downplaying the crisis that ultimately impeded any kind of international community intervention, including the UN forces that were on the ground. Burkhalter notes that the initial reaction was slow, but eventually the Clinton administration did step in towards the end to help out creatively and with vigor. Within this article, we can draw an essential timeline of what occurred leading up to the genocide and how things played out. A big key factor is the information flowing back and forth between the international community that really kind of gave false indications of what was actually occurring, including from diplomats that were sympathetic of the Hutu regime, that had characterized the slaughter as a free-for-all fighting between the two sides. And in reality, it was really a mass killing of unarmed men, women, and children by soldiers and militia with guns and machetes. The second article was Schillinger's article, The End of Idealism, published in 1998, which depicts the idealism with which Bill Clinton brought to the White House and had essentially stopped once he started hitting the diplomatic problems abroad, including in Somalia and later Bosnia. And he opted to really steer away from really getting America involved and had this indecisiveness occurring in his decision-making processes, and ultimately failed to supervise what was occurring with American diplomacy, including the 18 service members that were in Somalia and died. So this really kind of almost wakes Clinton's administration up, and they start really getting more involved, essentially, especially late in 1994. The third article is Michelle Wrong's article, False Idols, published in 2016. Wrong is really trying to shed light on what is occurring through the memories of the Rwandan genocide and how the new regime is trying to utilize those memories to bolster their president up. But through this, we really do get a good background view of what's going on, or what went on rather, leading up to the genocide. The Rwandan genocide has always, figuratively, timeline-wise, began with the president's plane crash or assassination, and was originally blamed on the Tutsis, but was actually carried out by the Hutu extremists who had become disenchanted and distrustful of the president in the months really following the Arusha Accords, which was a UN and Hutu and Tutsi agreement of ceasefire of their civil war. So because the president was beginning to lean a little more to the left than they liked, the extremists really were ready to take him out, but they weren't. They wanted to make a statement and utilize his death, and thus blaming the Tutsis. Upon his death, the message went out that it was the Tutsis' fault, and radio announcements really blared throughout the country and began the massacres, and they quickly spread across the country. So these three articles really helped shape my understanding more so of what was occurring and how you can really, even if the article is not specifically about the topic, the background information is still quite helpful in your research. I really appreciate you listening, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Thanks so much.